I'm getting some emails from some of you wanting to know how to take apart an Okin motor and repair what's wrong with it. I know in an earlier video we kind of discussed some of the common things that fail on Okin motors. These motors are commonly found on like Tempurpedic, Select Comfort, Leggett and Platt, Simmons, Sealy. A lot of brands out there are using this Okin actuator drive for these beds, and we've discussed some of the more common problems, but today we're going to take a look inside to actually see what fails on this and hopefully answer some of your questions. I will condition this by saying that we do not recommend opening up these motors. There is a risk of electrical shock. I'd also like to say that internal parts for these beds are not sold by Okin to the end user. And when you open these cases up, you do so at your own risk. I will also say that on occasion, there are some internal parts available for these beds, but they come out of a used motor system. There are no brand new parts. Again, Okin does not sell to the end user. So let's open it up and let's take a look. Open this up. This came off like a older model Tempurpedic, but let's take it. What you have is a total of about 10 screws, and you'll see the holes on your motor. There's the screw holes there, and that causes it to come off. Now, along this seam right here, once you get all the bolts out, there are a couple spots to where they've used some sort of glue to hold it together. So if you when you go to pull the case apart, if it's not coming apart, then you know, it's probably got some tack areas where they've hot glued it. You can use like a heat gun to kind of heat up those areas and gently pull it apart. What I had good luck with is using, once you get the seam separated, you can use a flathead, but you want to be careful because you don't want to chip and damage the casing. But once you get in there, you can actually take a pair of needle nose and then twist them, and that'll spread the case open, and then kind of maybe take another pair and gently go down to spread it open. Use a heat gun to get that glue heated up to where it'll come apart so that way you're not at risk of damaging your case. So now let's open it up and take a look. We have our Okin Okimat 2 adjustable bed motor opened up now, so we can kind of take a look and identify what some of these parts are. As we talked about in an earlier video, these push blocks right here, these are called push blocks. And when you press the button, let's say on your remote control to raise your head or your foot up, it sends the signal to the receiver, which in turn tells this circuit board or the main board what to do. Well, in this particular one, we've seen some of these blocks get like crushed and just like almost disintegrate from pressure. Well, these can be replaced. If you notice how they all work, it's like a worm gear here, and most of this grease that you're seeing is a dielectric grease, and then you have a bearing unit right here. And what it does when you turn it on, let's just take a look, and we'll watch this. Now, notice it stopped because there are a couple of limit switches that you see right there. And there's one at here and one there. And what those limit switches do is tell the actuator when to stop and the push block to stop. I have seen on occasion to where these limit switches right here will go bad, and then the motor just stops working. But again, could be right here in this main board. So if we take and we push this back, actually I'm going to turn it back on its side here. Now it's making contact with those limit switches, and you can actually watch how this thing works. Okay, now if you notice, the push block is coming out, and that would be raising the head of your bed right now. Now it's coming back in. And now it's going to be kind of hard to see here, but I'm going to try to show you this limit switch here. Now, if I watch as it, okay, see it come off of that switch? Can you see that little white, almost looks like a little pin coming out of that little black switch? Now watch what happens. So it just goes to show that a limit switch could go bad on these, and that also stop either the head or the foot from functioning. So moving on, it's kind of the same thing with the foot side. If we switch over here to the foot, as you can see, that's how the push block system works inside the Oki 2. And we'll bring it back in. So this is what's causing your head and your foot to be able to lift. So those of you out there that, you know, may want to tackle doing this, and, you know, you may be able to find the parts. Again, we may have some that are damaged. We take it off like a used one or something like that. We may have, but again, we don't guarantee these parts will work. They are used parts after all, so there wouldn't be any warranty, but you could save some money if you knew what the problem was and you just want to tackle this on your own. So thanks for watching.